So today we will first cover the lookup family. We will cover VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and XLOOKUP, and then we will see some referencing formulas like index and match. I know they are also the basic ones, but lookups are very essentials in Excel. Everyone knows that. So the ones who don't know how to apply lookups, so this concept is for those. And we will start the similar way. We are just making our hierarchy here. In the end, I will share this file with all of you as well, where you can track the basic ones. Sometime if you want, a refreshment of your concepts, you can come out this file and you can check all the formulas. Okay, so we will just write here lookup formulas, lookup and reference formulas. Okay, first we will start with the VLOOKUP equals to. Now see what the difference here is with VLOOKUP, XLOOKUP, and HLOOKUP. VLOOKUP basically only works with your searching of left to right values, right? And XLOOKUP can search in both ways. It can search in right side, it can search in left side as well if you are looking for something, and you can give them two arrays. Like one will be your searching array where you will search the particular entity which you want to search, and then the other will be your return array where you will get the results. We will apply that then when you will see that what the outcome will come in XLOOKUP. In VLOOKUP, we will now search the values from one particular range of table array. Instead of one single column array, we will use the table array. So we will start here VLOOKUP. If you start your parenthesis, it's super easy to follow these instructions that you have underneath. So first it's asking me lookup value. So there are two methods. One is that you can find the value by using cell reference. You know that what are the cell references. Let me just remove this formula. And if I click here, this cell contains this address, so this is G24. That is very important. If you know the cell referencing and you want to apply the complex ones, then you can lock the values and you can play with the unique methodology, and you can get better results. So we will use our referencing here equals to we look up start my parenthesis my lookup. I can use the reference as well, I can use the string. See, if you are using some predefined function, you don't need to apply double quotes here because that is already predefined by the system. And this is the only difference between string and the predefined functions in even Excel, in Power BI, in Python, everywhere. The things that are predefined, you don't need to commit them. And if you are explaining something that is inside your data but that is not a predefined, then you need to apply your double quotes. So I will just search my, let's suppose, laptop here from my products, and I want the revenue, right? So I want revenue for my single product. Let's suppose you can search for desk, for headphones, for webcam, whichever you want. So now I'm looking for laptop, let's suppose, and comma. When I will hit comma, see that the next step comes in and it shifted to the next one, that it's asking now table array, give me table array now. Now see, when you will just apply k2 to k46 or 51, whichever okay, we have 44 values here, there are 43. So if you have values from K2 to K43, that means your this array is column array. This is not a table array. When you will search for multiple entities, you will be covering multiple columns. Then your that array will be table array. So my data from B column is self-explanatory. That will give me some information regarding this because first column carries dates. That's why I will skip out this first column for now, and I will just search from B to you can say for K43 or L43, whichever that makes sense for you. You can even search for up to L43. That will not destroy your whole function. L Okay, we will start from B2 to L43, let's suppose. And see, we have selected all the way data. Instead of selecting data like this, like just dragging, use these references. Let's suppose let me just delete this, and I just select my data like this carries some redundancy, and you might get some error sometime, because you are, when dragging the values, you might, lose some of values or entities that will give you an error. And if you are going with this approach by writing yourself, that will be a good approach. And I will push a comma or colon here, sorry, and then L43, then comma again. And now it's asking me column index. Now the question is, what column index is? What are column indexes? Now see, when you see this A, B, C, D, E, these alphabetic sequence, this is basically a sequence of your column names. A is your column name, and one is your row name. That basically they will combine and give you address of a cell. So my column carries indexes from A. A carries one index, B is at two index, C is at third, fourth, fifth. That's all the way sequence will go. But see, when you are getting the range from B column, or from where you are starting the range, that matters. If you are starting from C, D, wherever you are starting, your indexes will start from that point where you are starting your range. So my range is now started from B2. It means my B column is my first index. So I want to search for revenue. So I will count my indexes from B column. B is 1, C is 2, D is 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7th. So each column that carries my revenue information, that is at 7th index. I know that. So now I will just enter here 7, right? And I will also apply the similar VLOOKUP for my little information, but that is not required, as you all are already mostly people are here familiar with the, as you said that we are familiar with the basics of Excel. So I will pass it out, but if you require, we will cover it later on. You can ping me, and even you can ask me if you want. I will just press comma, then see, we have two recommendations here, true and false. In 100% cases, you will be using false for exact match. You can use 0 as well, but the false makes your coding more clean. So I will type here false. I want the exact match. See, exact match. I will just close my parenthesis. Now see, if I have errors in my formula, then it will return an error or any exception or any you can say any alarm or any flag here that will allow me to fix that error. Now if I don't have any error, my all recommendations went out, and I don't have any redundancy here in the formula. I will just hit enter. I got 8246. So I will come in my data. I will press Control A, press Control Shift L to apply your filters, and I will apply my filter over my products. I choose here, which I choose here.
Laptop.
Okay, laptop. So in my this range, my first revenue is 8246. I didn't summed up all the way values. I have just took my first value. When it will find the first laptop, it will just return me that revenue. Now the question is how we can solve the rest of others. I will show you that when we will cover the combination of formulas, when I will use both formulas together, then I will show you how we can do this. But for now, you just need to understand that how we have implemented our even I can remove this by Control Shift L. Okay, I will go back, and my that information is correct, so it makes some sense. Now I will apply H lookup. Now, what's the difference between VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP for now? HLOOKUP deals with rows. It only deals with row indexes. It will be helpful for you if you are looking for some value that is in some row and you wanna just search for that column and jump into that row. Like you wanna access one cell that is inside revenue column or your category column or your profit margin, wherever. If you are going to search for this particular furniture that is in category, you will first find out the category from the header and then you will jump into the row index. You will use these indexes. These are indexes for rows, these are indexes for columns, and we will go with the index and we will see how that works. So I will just press here equals to h lookup, and then I have first each lookup and then start my parenthesis. See, lookup values similar to our VLOOKUP. We can type here any string, we can give them cell as well. So I will give them string that my lookup value is revenue, and I will just close my double quotes and I will put a comma here. See, table array. This is not a column array. That will be only in XLOOKUP. This again is a table array. Now there is one difference between VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. HLOOKUP deals with the rows. So if I search revenue, I will not be searching revenue in these ranges. I have to select my first row as well if I want to search for revenue. So in HLOOKUP, that is mandatory to use your headers, to use your range from first row. So I will just select my H1 to a, let's suppose K43, not H1, B1. I'm starting my complete range. See, this will be my table range, and I will find my value that I'm looking for in my some any of this header, right? I will go back and I will complete up my formula. And in row index, you can type something like I'm typing here 3. I want the third index in my this particular range. And then in a similar way, we will apply here false for exact match. And I will just close my parenthesis and I will hit enter, and it will return me the third index in my revenue column. See, 29,552. That is my third value in revenue. In revenue, this is the first row, this is second, and that is your third. 29,552. So the value becomes, correct, because we have just accessed our third row. That is third row. That is actually in data, we can see that is second entity, but there we are using row indexes, so rows will be counted from the first row because our range started from B1 instead of B2. That's why. And even when I change my that range to B2, I will not find revenue ever. So we can do even B2, this will return an error. See, and you know that if we got the any error, how we can fix this error? We can apply if error formula to fix this particular error. So I will just type here b1 so I can get the exact matches. Okay, there is X lookup that was late introduced by the Microsoft, and that is very powerful, that can do error handling by itself, that is more mature as compared to VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, and mostly people use XLOOKUP. And there is another term for locking values. You can press F4 to lock your all the way entities. Like if I have these ranges, I can lock them by pressing F4 key, and you can do this, but I am opening up my entities for now because I am applying many formulas here over my this data, that's why. So I will start my X lookup, and we can find in X lookup in both ways, in right and left. So it's clear to you that why this is different from VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP. It's more efficient, you can say, and it's more mature over the data and over your conditions which you give in the formula. Okay, I will just type here XLOOKUP, and next lookup, when I will start my parenthesis, it will ask me these entities. There are some differences. One is for arrays. First, we need to give them lookup array where it will find a specific character or cell which we will commit here, and then the return array that from where it will give us returning value. Like if I'm looking for revenue, see why I am again and again committing revenue here. If you see my this data, this is particularly dependent on my revenue, because if I don't have revenue, this data is nothing for me. Because if you want to analyze something over your sales analysis data, then you should have to be familiar with your backbone of your data, which is mandatory field. So revenue is mandatory in all sort of sales. If you're doing sales or something, whichever your company working is, they are very concerned with the budgeting and the money they earned and the money they are managing or maintaining. They are very concerned about it. So that's why I am again and again committing my revenue. You can use the other entities as well. I will start my this particular X lookup as I will search now my sales representative. Let's suppose I have Alice. That is my sales representative that are here. See, sales representatives Alice. So I am searching for Alice. That okay. Alice, comma, and then lookup array. Now, in which column do I have this particular entity? In D column. So I will select my lookup array from D2 to D43. D2 to D43, then comma, then return array. Now, in return array, I'm looking for my revenue that is in H column. See, you can use the other ones as well. That will working fine, no issue. H2 to H43, and I will put a comma here. Now there is one little change as well in your exception here for XLOOKUP. You can type here if you will not find out the ls, let's suppose, and you will just type here an exception that not found, not found, and I will just close my parenthesis, and if I hit enter it will search out the Alice. But we will change this name as well to see the output that we will get the error. This gave us 28,343 for first Alice. So this is our first Alice. We got that 28,343. So that is perfect. So in my these names, I don't have David. Let's suppose, let me use David. David. I don't have in my sales representatives this name, and this should return me an error. See, not found. So we did the similar thing as we did in if error, where we were dealing with the exception. So this we did the similar thing here, but with another approach. That was this is a part of syntax of XLOOKUP. You can do the error handling as well. So if you see in the other ones, we didn't did this, and in XLOOKUP, this has been designed in your own syntax of a particular formula XLOOKUP. Okay, so now we will just cover index here. That is very simple and easy. Now the question is when we will be using index function. When you will be using combinations of formulas, you will be doing a little complex tasking. Then you will be using two or three formulas in one cell, and at that moment you can indicate your particular index of rows or whichever index you are finding at that moment. You can give them the range and get that particular and specific entity, right? I will just press here equals to, because we know that this is the syntax of typing every formula in Excel, equal to, and then index, start my parenthesis, and first it's asking me array where you want to find that index. So I find my index in, let's suppose, b to b43. Which index do I want? I want the third index. So I will just close my parenthesis and I will hit enter. Webcam, that is at my third index. Now I will just tally 1 2 3. So because I have started my range from B2 instead of B1, that's why my second row is my first row, because my range started from B2 instead of B1. That's why this is my first entity, this is second, and this is third, that is webcam. So I got the exact match. So that makes some sense. And this is very easy, but this is very useful if you know how to use multiple combinations of formulas. Even we will cover the combination of formulas after this one match function, that is reference formula. uh, Match, the people who knows these formulas, I know the condition that you will be facing right now, but this is just a process, we need to follow it. And this is for the other ones who don't know the lookups. And because see, if someone have been working from a long time with these formulas, he must know the lookups and all that. But the one who is starting their journey and all that, they don't know what these lookups are, because lookups are difficult for the beginners. They are not difficult for the people who are applying them on daily basis, but the people who didn't know that what are lookups, they are really tough for them to understand even all of them at once. Anyways, when we will jump into Power Query or pivot tables, you guys might be getting a little relatable content that you are looking for right now. And even if you guys have any, if I will start my any topic and you say that I know this topic, I can present that what this actually is. Like, you can present me how to do data cleaning in Power Query. Like, if someone want, you can just raise your hand and you can present as well. So that will be also good for others to learn from you as well. You can share your insights if you want. Okay. So match, now what this will do, this will match up my value which I will give in the string or in the cell reference, and then it will return me that particular thing. Like, it will match up that and it will give me that particular index. This is also a referencing formula, equals to index, oh sorry, match. As these are predefined formulas, that's why they are not case sensitive. We can use match in capital letters, in small letters, whichever you want. There is no case sensitivity in this, but there is case sensitivity in your strings which you're using, because if this accessories have capital A, then we should have to follow the similar version instead of using the other way, right? Because this will give you error instead of the other predefined functions, because they are already predefined in the machine knows them, but these are defined by us. So we are writing them and we are using them again in our approach. I will just get my webcam for now, that is in the beginning of my data, that's why. And then it's asking me lookup array, where I need to find it. So I have products in column B, so I will just get my B2 to B43, and I will just close my parenthesis. See, every recommendation went out, so I will just hit enter. So it's giving me 42 because I didn't give them what I want here in the end. See, there is another section, less than, if you want the less than value, and if you want the exact match, and greater than. We don't want the less than or greater than, we always will be looking for the exact match. So as I said in the beginning, that we can use 0 and false both ways, but 0 is good for your match and referencing formulas. False is really good for your lookups and the other functions which are already syntaxed with false. So that makes you different from the other users. If you will be following the syntaxes and all that, it means the in-depth knowledge about that particular formula or the module. Okay, I will just hit enter now. See, third. I got my first entity at third and my last at 42, which I got. I will just see third. That is my first entity. And when I didn't apply 0, I got 42. So if I go in my 42 row, I got 42, which that was 42 or 43. Okay, I will just remove it. 42. I don't have here webcam. I have at last my webcam is at 35. So that is redundancy that I got because I didn't follow up the syntax. That's why I got this. Okay. Okay, so now we will move on to the a little complex ones where that will be complex ones who are learning this hierarchy, who don't know these ones, and the ones who are already expert in Excel, so they might be ignoring those ones as well. Okay, so we will use combinations of formulas now. For conditioning formulas, we will use sum if, we will use sum if as for multiple conditioning, average if as for multiple conditioning. We will use them, we will use two formulas only to make our familiarity with the formulas, but the rest of others you can practice by yourself. We will not waste our time with this module. I will just use here sum if. That is my first combination that I am using, sum and if. I want sum on the basis of this condition. So I will start my sum if, and then in to C43 I have my regions, I know that. And in regions, you know that we have central, north, and south and west, whichever you can comment here. North, that I am finding for now, and I will just put a comma here, and then sum range, which range I want to sum. I want to sum my revenue here, H2 to H43. I will hit enter. Okay, we got 44,077 against our that particular region. So I will just apply control A, control shift L. Let me do that. Control shift L. Okay. In my regions, I have north. In north, I have my revenues 44,077. See here, we have exactly what we did. So control shift L. Okay. Okay, I will come back. So that was really easy, but in some, if as, that will be for multiple conditioning. And in multiple conditioning, when I will start, you will see a little change in the syntax. It will ask me for sum range which you wanna sum. So I want H2 to H43, that I want the sum. Then criteria range 1, then criteria range 2, up so on. We how much you wanna give the conditions here. So first I will give them C2 to C43, where you have to search for south, let's suppose. See, I'm just following the syntax of my regions, capital S for south, and similar way I did with north, and then comma. Okay, now it's asking me the next one, so I will just get my L2 to L43. That is my next range here, then comma, and then my if I see, I just find furniture, let's suppose furniture, and I will just close my parenthesis. See, I have applied here two conditions. On the basis of these conditions, like region wise, category, sales, I want to search here. Now this is a little complicated in the statement, but that is not difficult when we are applying. So see, when you're going to get a job, you are going to jump into a interview, and the technical team will ask you little simple but complicated ones, statements that will give you tough time to understand, but that will be, the solution will be really easy, but they will just give you tough time, that this is, you have to find that this and that, and that they will just bound you in a condition where you can just think about it, that this is something that I can do, but in reality that will be a really easy statement. Even that happens in SQL for queries, right? I will just hit enter. See, I got the 32,229 for my these both conditions. Now I will apply both of them. Control Shift L, Control Shift. Uh, I had my region for south, and the other condition was here furniture. Okay, if I just get my revenues, 32,229. So they are working exactly what we have searched with our formula.
That's two. That's a good one.
Thanks. Okay, in the same way, see, you can use all of these combinations with all of these above formulas, right? If you see, I know that the candidates are here which know these formulas, so they're just waiting for the next part, like for the complex one. So that's why I'm going a little fast now, because majority knows these things. That's why I'm going a little fast today, and we will not be going in depth with each formula for combinations, and we will not be doing, the rest of others that are really basic formulas like for text and all that, and we will just move on with the complex ones. And if you have any query about any sort of formula, you can ask me in group, in personal chat, wherever you want. I'm open always, and I will support all of you. Even if you are doing some project and you stuck in and you got any error, you can ask me. I will support you if I can. So now I will apply here average. In the similar way, we will apply sum. Oh, sorry, average if. That will be working similar as we did in sum if. So in sum if you see, we first gave them the range, then the sum range. And in the same way, when I will just type average if, sorry, average if. I will just start my parenthesis. See, range, then criteria. So first I will get the range, like let's suppose here I want the range, let's suppose in L2. That is entity that we use so rare, L2 to L43, where I can find furniture. Furniture. Now I will press double quotes again here, then comma, then the average range. Now I again got the average range in H2 to H43, because that is the this is a little data set. That's why I'm playing with all the time with revenue. Okay, I will just hit enter. See, this is the average. You can tally this by applying these filters over your this data like all the time. And instead of using those manual approach, you can use this by Control Shift L, right? So I will also show you one trick here that we can play with in Excel. Uh, okay, so first let me just apply here for furniture so we can see the average of revenue. Then I will show a little trick. Furnitures. Okay, here I have the revenues. If I select them, see range, average is 13,599 for furniture. And I will just press Control A, Control Shift A. You can see 13,500. This is basically when I will just, yeah, this way, see, 13,599. In the same way we will apply. Okay, in before going into the average if s, let me show you one more trick that we can, how we can, solve the did we cover that, how to deal with the blank values, how to remove the blank rows.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So there are other shortcuts as well. I will show that, but that will be related to the other entities. That's why I'm not going for them now. We will see them in even in Power BI and Power Query as well. See, the Power Query that is in Excel, it's similar in Power BI. So the time that we will invest in Excel for Power Query, that will be our investment for Power BI as well, because in Power BI, Power Query is similar, exact similar as we have in Power Excel, right? But people just prioritize Power BI for Power Query as compared to Excel Power Query, because in the end, when you will be creating your visualization in Excel, you will get redundancy in your dynamic results. When you have built up one logic and you have just wrote some macros behind it and you have run some VBA behind it, and that will work fine at that moment, but after some time when you will push the next month data or the next decade data, and then you will be getting be values like 60,000 plus records or 1 lakh plus records. When you will exceed the limits of these 60,000 to 1 lakh, then Excel will slow down. You cannot do the dynamic visualization as smooth as you can do the similar thing in Power BI in a smooth way. My term is smooth. My term is not that we cannot do in Excel. We can do in Excel, but Excel will give you a little slow version as compared to the other tools like Power BI, Looker, Tableau, whichever visualization tool you are using. But 90% of companies all over the world for now they are using Power BI. Now the question is why? Because Power BI is very cheap. They offer you for $24 per month for the whole year. If you want to use their cloud version, their desktop application, you want all the royalties that subscriptions carries. So you can enjoy all these functionalities by only $24 per month. If you want to acquire that account for Microsoft Power BI, and if you have that account, you can make publications. I will show you that over there, but we cannot do the similar things in Excel. Excel can only allow you to create a report and present it to somewhere by attaching your system. But if you have created the similar report in Power BI, let's suppose I have two students. I gave them two assignments. One have to create in Excel that dashboard, and one have to create that in Power BI. And I will ask them, please present me. One goes with presenting me by connecting that system into the LED or some resource where we are going to see, and the other one just gave me that link, and we open up that link on our browser, and we can see all the project, and we can drill down all the way. So I will prioritize the second one, which will give me the link, because I have a link that is a publication link. I can share that to any my colleague, my manager, whichever I want. So that these are little things that make Power BI more strong in industry nowadays. People are prioritizing, people are learning, people are implementing, because companies are prioritizing Power BI. That is basically supported by Microsoft. Microsoft is a well-known, organization. They support well in their, if you are their, VIP customer, you are getting, their custom plans. They will support you extra. Even they will dedicate one or two developers to you, that if you got your haltation in your project, they will support you. They will give you a lot of backup. So instead of relying only over your BI engineer, you can get help from that team as well. The people who are dealing directly with the vendors, or the people from where they buy these ones. Because when I was in one of my company, where I was dealing with like buying these things, buying products and all that, which we use in our company. So I was dealing with that team who were just giving me Power BI subscription, and we were paying them, and they respond back instantly, because we were their VIP clients. That's why they were giving us a lot of backup. So sometimes the bugs and the errors that we cannot fix at that moment, but we should have to fix them in 1 or 2 hours. So I just go back into that support and just ask them, please do this, and they do that in a little time, and they give us support. That's why Power BI is getting more interaction. But if you have the similar problem with Tableau, you might be getting a little low responses, low backup, low support, and you have to do everything by yourself. If you create one project, like that was a big project, you created 30 or 40 reports in that particular version. Like if you are working in a company who have 40 departments, and they asked you that please create 40 sort of different analysis reports, and we want to see every department report. Please do this with your team and present us. And you will create all of them and you will link them with each other. And when you are going to present that particular project where all these reports are, and you got one error in Tableau, and now the scenario is for Tableau, this is not for Power BI, and you got a little you can say redundancy with only your cardinalities of relationship, you will not be able to fix it in 5 hours even, right? That's my experience. Even you can try it, and when you see, when you will just listen to people, you cannot believe. When you will apply those things by yourself, you will get. Even when you are going to download your Tableau, you will not be getting that free. But if you are downloading Power BI, that is free application for desktop. And what's the difference between desktop application, and what's the difference between this cloud version of Fabrics that is dedicated for Microsoft Power BI? In Fabrics you can do the similar things, but when you are going for cloud version and when you are going for desktop, you know that desktop is more strong, that is hard coded, that can bear a lot of data burden. That's why my suggestion, and all the experts that do analysis, they prioritize Power BI desktop application instead of cloud version. Yes, cloud version is good for publication, is good for sometime a little changing in your report at the urgent time, and in that scenario that is good. But if you can say that that is good for the development, that is not. And you can also create the mobile canvas as well in Power BI. But if you create report in mobile canvas and you want to share that report with others, then if you are sharing that report with me, then I should have to be downloaded that application, mobile application, in my mobile, and I have a account where I can open. If I don't have these both things, then I cannot see even your report. But that's why I would suggest you to create all the time with desktop version, or the that we can open up in our browser on systems, instead of going for mobile application canvas. Anyways, we will see here average if as come to the point again equals to average if as. Okay, so now average range first, see, in the same way that we applied in sum if as, so we will get the average range here for again h2 to h51 43. And then now again conditions. So first I will get them c2 to c43. Okay, c2 to c43. There is a problem that h43 c2 colon c43. Okay, so now I want east here, east, comma, then again the other one, which is b2 to, I want the product as well here now, b2 to b43 for product. My product will be, let's suppose, webcam. I'll just close my double quotes, my parentheses, and now if I hit enter, it will do the similar thing as we did in if s of sum. So control A, control shift L. First I will apply that on my region, which was for east. Then for my product, that were webcam, I have this revenue. And see, 11,864, that is my average with both these conditions. See, I've applied two filters here and I got this. And instead of doing this manual, you can use this, function that we have applied here, control shift again. Okay. So see, that is similar which we have applied here. Okay, you can, okay, we saw that the currency settings. Yes. Okay, so that's all for combinations that we can do here. And let me just demonstrate here one to two formulas for my, let me just put that here, that these were our combination formulas. Combination formulas. Okay, now what I will do, I will I will make my custom filters, custom sorting, my uniqueness, and I will find these things. Now you can use the filters and sorting by this pane here, but do you know how to create custom sorting and custom filters for your entities? Let me just demonstrate. Let me just first write here. That will be our dynamic and advanced category. Dynamic and advanced formulas. Okay. So I have here first filter. That's how we can create custom filters. Equals to filter, then start my parenthesis. First I have to give them array which I want here. So I want array from B2 to L43, let's suppose. B2 to L43. So I have just selected my all the way data. I want my accessories, my profit margins, profits, cost, revenue, all the way these values. So then it's asking me include, which you wanna include. So I wanna include, I will target here. I will target here one entity, C2 to C43, that is range of my revenue, as you know that. And then I will press equal sign. See, I'm giving them this include section. This is not as similar as we did in previous. For the referencing for our strings, we will just directly put equal sign that we want this C2 to C43 range that will be equals to my north, and then push a comma. Okay, if empty, if I will not find it, I will not find the north, then what you wanna show on your screen? So I want no results. No results. This is also an error exception. So this, and sorry, we should have to apply here as well. Then I will just close my parenthesis. See, okay, if I just hit enter, now what it will do, it will filter out all the way information about north for my all entities, right? For my all entities, and you can indicate your entities via your range. Now if you see, I have given them a range from B2 to L43. That covers my all the way entities. When I will hit enter, it will give me all the way data because I have started from B2. So see, my all information that I've written here for north only, right? So I have here 7 count. I got 7 values for north. Now let me just clarify that either I got the exact values or results from my data or not. I will just apply on north, that either I got the 7 rows or not. So let me just calculate here. See, 7 count, that we got the exact what we were looking for, right? That's how you can make the custom filters, and you can change the entities as well. This is not only strictly followed by this only formula that you can use these entities. You can change these as well. You can change this range to B2 to B43, and you can change it to webcam or any other product that we have. And then you can give them the exception that I wanna find this. If I will not, let's suppose let me type here USA. So because I don't have this region in my criteria, I will get the result here for exception. And this is how this works. Now I will get for west. See, I got it. And see, if you already know that even, and you can apply them, that will be very essential, that will be very helpful for you. If you are working on daily basis with financial data or any sales data, that will be very useful for you. Okay, we have another one here, sort, sort, sort. What we will do, we will sort them by entities. Instead of sorting from here, you can sort the values from here as well, a to z, z to a, means you can sort them hierarchy wise from largest to smallest as well. There are many settings that you can do by this button, but we will type here our own formula for sorting, that is sort, and then start my parenthesis. First it's asking me array, so I will give them b2 to h43, and then sort index, which is your index. My column index is 7, we know that for revenue, so I will just type 7, and then it's asking me sort order which you want. When I see, when I'm here, 1 and -1, -1 for descending. If I click -1, I will get the descending sorting here automatically. See, now how I can indicate that this is the descending version of sorting. 32,000, 29,000, 28, 27, 23, 18, then 288, then 17, 16,000. So that's how you can clarify that yes, these are the ones. Okay, so that's all for our these functions and formulas.